Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. The resource well has just been released. This is a new event where we can burn stuff like in the burning event, but it's a bit different. As always, you can find some timestamps to jump to the part that interests you the most. We're gonna jump right into the resource well. The first event is called the goal well, and this one in the future, of course, will have different names like the burning events too. And here on the first side, we will already see really quickly that there's like something limited that we can receive. And this number that you can see here is the main reward if you hover over the grant price basically. And in the first time of the resource well, now we get a miner with 15p and 8.5% bonus power. And for a main reward, I think for the first time having the resource well around, this is kind of underwhelming and everyone expected probably a little bit better stuff. So we will see in the next time this event is coming around if the reward will not be better at that point. And funny enough, this miner that we can receive here is not sellable in the marketplace, but once you have this number here run to 0, you will get a different miner from the actual grant price, and this time around it's the contender miner. So everyone who's fast enough and gets the top 500 of the event basically gets the champion miner, and everyone who's completing the points afterwards gets this miner. And I think it's gonna be like this all the time now when we have a resource well, that the first couple hundred player get this better reward, or in this case the worse reward, and the next players get something else. So this is pretty cool. It's something new that didn't happen before, that we can basically participate here like in the race tournaments, and we can outcompete other people and receive something better just because we are faster, or in this case we get something worse, but that it's not the point here. And the more things you are burning inside of the event, the more of the rewards you receive along the way, of course. The next thing here would be with 600,000 points, one of the miners with 8p and 4.5%, and you get some decent stuff along the way with less points. It's kind of similar like in the burning events where you burn like a tiny amount of points and then you get something along the road already. So that is very good. And to reach those points here, you would need to click the start button, and then you can apparently burn everything that you own inside of the account. So that's pretty new too. We had in the burning events always the problem that we needed a lot of mining power, like in PH talking, to throw into the oven basically. And here you can burn miners, racks, parts, batteries, and even your money. Literally, this is pretty crazy actually. And you have different limits per category apparently. Let's check out how many points you receive for crazy mining power, for example. If we burn 6p and 4% power, then we get like 50,000 of these coins, and in total we would need 1.1 million. So also very similar to the burning event where we need to spend a lot more than we actually will receive at the end. So this is a very progressed or advanced event, I would say, that most new players will not be able to participate in. Let's check out the racks. If you burn them, they basically give no points at all. This is pretty crazy to see. We need 1.1 million. So if we had the composite rack, let's say like 1,000 times, then we could participate here, but obviously that is not the case. So racks are kind of out of the question. We can throw in parts, and here, funny enough, we get a lot more points, but also hashboards are really expensive. For example, if I would throw in my legendary hashboard now, that costs me 60 Rollertoken approximate at the moment of the video, I get 450k points, and miners give me a lot less. These miners here, for example, are worth a lot more than my one part that I have here, and they give a lot less points in total. So that's crazy to see, guys. So parts are really good, but of course there's the limit here that you can see. We can only burn so much to get points from parts, and that is fair enough, I guess, because otherwise we would just be able to purchase like legendary hashboards upfront and just throw them in the oven and immediately finish this event. So I think it's good that we have a limit here. Let's check the batteries, because everyone was kind of going crazy on them and buying them in advance. We can get 800 points for one battery. I have 170 batteries at the moment, and I cannot even burn all of them because we are limited in batteries. We can get only 110k points, so I can basically not just upfront purchase like 1,000 batteries and finish the event immediately. So this is pretty good as well. Let's check the money part out. We can throw in everything that we own. They were not lying about this. This is completely crazy. You can, for example, literally throw your dollar into the oven here, the US dollar token. And here in this case, it is the points that you are entering here. As you can see, if I want one event point, and it costs me 0.0001 cent. So this is pretty crazy. Let's see what will happen if we wanted to purchase the entire event, because as you can see here, you have a limit of 1.1 million. Unfortunately, I don't have enough dollars $1 here to actually test the entire event, but if I wanted to purchase 33k of the points, it costs me already $4, so we could make the easy math here. 40 times the amount of this would cost the entire event, which is like $160 if I'm not mistaken. You could quite literally just throw your money into the oven and get the entire event paid immediately. Of course, we would always need to make the calculations if these events are actually worth it to burn, let's say, our hashboards and stuff and get here the limit done, and then what else to throw in, because they say those limits are not going to be reset. This is standing down here. Some of the categories have burning limits and you cannot earn more points from the category once the limit is reached. So this is something you need to be aware of when you are starting to actually burn stuff. Once the limit is reached, you will need to go to the next category and throw in this kind of things. So for example, if you wanted to burn batteries, then you have a limit of 110k. Then you can throw in some of the parts up to 550k. And in the example of today's event, we will have now another 500k points that are missing, and that would need to be racks, money, or miners. In the category of the miners and the money, you will not have limits as of this event, but maybe next time we will have. So this is something you need to look out for, and then you can throw in the remaining points either in Rollertoken or in money or anything, or you would basically just need to burn your miners. But fact is that you will need to reach 1.1 million points or whatever it's gonna be in the future to get the main reward as fast as possible basically. Otherwise you will not get the main reward anymore, as I said, but you will get like a second reward, which in this case is the contender. And in today's event, funny enough, this one can be sold in the marketplace and the other one cannot. So the main reward is slightly worse in my opinion than the second place. So if you wanted to participate in today's event, maybe it's a good idea to basically just wait it out until the first 500 people get the main reward, the grand reward, and you will just get the better one, which can be sold in the marketplace. Another really important thing that they write down here is what happens if you exceed the point limits, and the extra points will carry over to the next stage, so you can complete multiple stages at once. But if you burn more than the total event requires, in this case the 1.1 million points, then those points will be lost with no compensation. So basically the same like the burning event. If you have those coins left at the end of the event and the next event will start, they will basically just vanish from here. And that is a big problem because some people are not actually reading these kind of things and they think they can upfront already participate inside of this event for the next event or something like that, and then they are looking at the points next time and they will be disappointed because it's basically just vanishing. So you need to be careful when you are participating in this event to reach the maximum points only one time, get your reward, and then don't burn more stuff because those points will basically just be for nothing. As always, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comments down below. Also let me know what you think about the new event and what you would have expected this to be, and I see you in the next one. Bye!